So you wanted to move on to
Yes.
agility. How is that important to you?
Agility is the number. You are not going to believe this because this is the number one skill that you want in high performers and that you will find in
Okay.
high performers. So I've looked, because I was really interested in people development and creating a high performing team and so on. So who do I put in that team and how do I recognize the members?
Yeah.
Agility is the one skill that you need. That's the one that goes across all the high performers.
And what is agility to you?
It's being able to just adapt to any situation and being a very good listener, someone who really intently listen and adapt to anything is for me, it's really a quick summary, of course, of agility. But it's someone who can, adapting to anything means you can adapt to a situation of crisis. You can adapt to, a
Right.
positive situation. You can adapt to anyone in your team.
And a lot of these issues are because we sometimes get false messages, don't we? Where you have to be rigid, you have to follow the rules, but then you need to break the rules. And which rules do I break? And if I'm too junior, I break the rules, I get fired. If I'm senior, I break the rules, I'm seen as a genius because I broke the rules. I mean, it seems to be amorphous. So how would our audience, who maybe if some of them are into a new area and they don't know the rules and they don't know which ones to break or not, or they're just starting their career, how would you help them with that?
So agility is exactly that. I mean, you adapt also to the rules. When you come into a place where rules are important, you adapt, you listen, you understand what's
Yeah,
happening, and then once you understand what's happening in your surrounding, then you can break whatever you want, if you decide to do so.
got it. And I'm guessing this is that ties into the personal value. It's when we're talking about open, direct, and honest, where you're open to those ideas. When you're having a conversation, you're open to changing yourself. So that makes sense. And being customer and patient centric. So I get that, but companies have to make money, right? So how do you fix the two between the business and the customer?
Yeah. So the key is, of course, you have a product. So in my world of health tech, what I see a lot, and something that maybe is kind of the wrong way of doing it, is that you have a genius who brings an idea to the table and says, "This is the best idea ever, and I'm going to change
Mhm.
healthcare." So,
Love it.
so with that, you go to the market and you realize that there is no place for it, or there is a place, but you sell three in the planet and you can't monetize it. So that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying bring your invention or innovation to the customer. For me, it's mostly patients or
Mhm.
physicians, and try and see what happens. Understand the
Yeah.
reaction, look at the traction. Can you monetize? Can you have a business model that works? Is it going to really transform what the physician is doing with that patient? Is it going to transform the patient's life positively? Once you understand that, then you can move forward with your idea, innovation, and business model. The What I see too often is from academic, especially, is those ideas. They think they are genius because they don't exist anywhere else, but then there is a
Mhm.
real mismatch, with what the market wants.
I mean that's that product market fit,
Yeah.
and I think that's the first, and that must be difficult with in medtech is because you've got all of these rules to get through before you go, oh, that wasn't right, and you've blown the money. So how do you gauge specifically in those hard or the big barrier to entry environments? How do you break down that barrier?
Yeah, so again, it's really by talking to the end customer right away and,
Right.
and trying to engage them as soon as possible. And then you surround yourself with people who know. And I was just reading an article yesterday or the day before about someone who is a VC in medtech, and he says, "I'm just shocked to see how many pharma people, think they know medtech or biotech people." And it's true. I mean, we have different world.
Okay.
Really, there is a different world between pharma, biotech, medtech, health tech, and digital health. It's everything is has its own rules. And what's really important is you surround yourself with the people who have the knowledge, not people who think they do.
So these are smart women and men, right? Why do they think that? What, or maybe a better way to ask the question is, what what advice would you have for people who maybe feel that they know a different area out of good reason, but maybe don't actually know that area? How would they figure that out?
Ask a question or two, and then you know. I mean,
Okay, okay,
it's really easy to burst the bubble. At the end, it's the difficulty for a CEO of a young CEO of a let's say academic startup is they can't do it because they don't know. So you need to surround yourself with someone who has the knowledge
yeah,
of your market, uh, and vertical, and then work with them in order to build the right ecosystem around you. I like your comment about you have to understand that it's not too late before it's too late, because otherwise
yeah,
you waste all the money, and then you end up not having anything. Um, the, Here, the difficulty and the challenge of medtech is the time it takes to go to market, and it's often that you need to invest 50 to 100 million before you can get a product to the market.